Their face, y'all, little face, little face. But I actually sat in the room over there and did a get ready with me while recording. But I can't post it because on the phone it only could be 15 minutes and I can edit it down, but I was talking about something and I can't take out none of it. So that sucks. So I can't post that. But I'm wearing the gold scarf that I had got from the thrift store with the gold earrings that I showed y'all if y'all saw that video. If not, I got this scarf from the thrift store and it's gold and black and I already have these earrings to match it that I'm pairing it with. I don't think I'm gonna wear a necklace. I think this is enough. Happy Sunday. And what I was talking about was, I asked the question, what's your zodiac sign? Somebody asked me that yesterday. And the person who asked me, I feel like I know you, but for some reason I don't recognize that name. And I said, I feel like I know you based on your comments to me. But I don't know if I recognize the name. Let me know if I know you, how I know you. You know, like, where do I know you from? Love the question, because there ain't nothing wrong with that question. And the reason I'm talking about it now is because there's a situation where, you know how some people, especially Christians, they'll say, God said we ain't supposed to be getting off into astrology and the zodiac signs and all that. Like it's a sin. So recently somebody said that to me. They said, oh no, I need a gold, this is a gold and silver bracelet. I need a black and gold. Let me see what I can find. And then I gotta go, so we'll talk in the car. Okay, y'all, so I just pulled up to the house. I done already been to church. I done went to the store. This is the bracelet that I found. Remember I said I was looking for a gold bracelet? So I put that on, but I stopped at the store and got me some cheeses. And I got those to go with, I had a taste for some crab salad. And then the chicken was smelling so good, I had to get some chicken. Family Fare has the best fried chicken to me in town. And then I picked up a bowl of hot sauce to go with my chicken because I don't think I have any more at the house. So that's gonna be my little snack, and then I'm gonna probably take a nap, and then maybe go to my mom's later for dinner this evening. She made chicken and dumplings, she said. And so that's it for my Sunday. I might go see Cousin Larry because he called me this morning before I went to church. But anyway, I want to get back to this. And this is going to be a story time, basically. So somebody even asked me if I would start doing story time on my channel. And they asked if I could do it and maybe talk about things that I went through with my divorce and stuff. And so I did respond and I said, I've never done story time on my channel. So that, you know, might be a good idea. I can certainly try that. But in terms of talking about, you know, that, I'm not quite ready yet. Only because, you know how sometimes something will happen and the effects of what happened doesn't show up for later. Like, for example, a catastrophic storm. The immediate effects is people lost their lives and there's structural damage or whatever. But then the true effects may not show up until later. And so it's been some time now with my separation and all of that. And there were some immediate effects. But then there are some effects that are still taking place that are life-changing effects. Because I'm just a different person now. And I'm just trying to tap in and check in with myself daily to make sure, you know, I'm not the same person. And I know people around me, some people have kind of decided to move away from me. Don't want to hang out no more because I'm tripping. But, and that's okay. I'm not tripping, I'm changing, right? And I don't even know for sure. I know a lot of my philosophies about life is changing. Things that was funny ain't funny no more. Things I used to like to do, I don't have no interest in anymore. That kind of thing. I have low tolerance for certain things. So I'm not ready to talk about all of that stuff just yet. And it won't be based on these are the effects of my divorce. It'll be, these are just some life stuff, you know, I don't know. So, and that's where poetry comes in, because poetry just helps me navigate through my own thought process and helps me stay centered and grounded and making sure where I am. It's just centered and balanced. And we all aren't balanced all the time. Sometimes I'm way over here, sometimes, you know, and you just kind of get yourself back centralized. If any of that makes sense to y'all. But I was asked a question, what's my zodiac sign? I'm an Aries. I'm an April Aries. And let me tell y'all this story. So there's this person, we were talking about, because I had read that there was a full moon, there was going to be a full moon or something. And I've always heard, like, when people are acting crazy or traffic is, people are just tripping on the roads, people will say, it must be a full moon because people are tripping today. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. So one day I read about it because there was a full moon coming up, and it's like the full moon does have an effect on your energy, right? To what extent, I'm not 100% sure because I don't get off into it like that. So I mentioned that to this person, and they was like, oh, and then she asked me if I was, or somebody else who was standing there asked me if I was into astrology. And I said, I'm not into astrology, but there's something to be said about it because, you know, I'm an Aries, and I line up and match up with the traits of an Aries. People I know who are Leos or Cancers or Sagittarius, whatever, those characteristic traits pretty much line up. And you guys comment below, not 100%, but, and so this person got so upset. She was like, oh no, God doesn't want us messing around with astrology and all of that. And to the point where she then stopped talking to me. And the other person who was standing there brought it to my attention. She said, did you notice that so-and-so doesn't speak anymore? She said, I think it's because I said I like Beyonce. And she said Beyonce is evil and does the Illuminati thing or whatever. She said, I'm not into all of that. I just like her music. So she doesn't speak anymore. And I confronted her once. I was like, hey, you know, I noticed that you didn't speak. I mean, she does. She was just like, hey, like, she wasn't like, hi, like she usually does. So I knew there was something. I asked her about it. She said there wasn't a problem. Okay, cool. But every day when I would see her, she would be like, hey, put her head down like she didn't want to speak. So I'm not speaking no more because you don't, obviously, you didn't show me you don't want to speak. And that's why. And it's like, that's crazy to me. And so another conversation I had with this person, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, of course, that's why I'm not using no names or reference of where I even know this person from, okay? We had a conversation about Christ in our life with Christ and the Bible and stuff. So I said, what church do you go to? And she said she doesn't go to church. And I was like, oh, okay. Because everybody doesn't. Every believer doesn't go to church and doesn't fellowship, and that's totally fine. I just recently got back in church after not going for years, right? Even though I was raised in the church. And so I was like, so what do you do? You know, like, for example, when you get off work, like, do you hang out with your friends? What do you, and she was like, no, I just go home. And I was like, okay, so how do you connect with people? How do you share your light and share love? Because I don't ever have to mention that I'm a Christian or talk about the Bible to show God's love, right? It's just in my character, it's in my walk, it's in my talk, right? We can be witnesses without talking about God. And then, of course, when you get an opportunity to share your faith on a one-on-one basis, and that's different, right? So anyway, she said, oh, sometimes I go on the corner and hold up signs. Okay, so in my mind, I'm like, you have isolated yourself from everybody, so you're not being a witness to nobody. You know, and because to me, you think everybody's evil. Because I've talked about astrology, and I said, in my response to her when she said, oh no, God doesn't want us. And I said, girl, God don't want us to do a lot of things that we still do. All of us. No, none of us are perfect. I'm not going to cut nobody off or stop speaking to somebody because they do something that I feel is a sin. Or because the Bible says it's a sin and you do that. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm going to just continue to be a light. No judgment and continue to be a light. That's what God would have me to do, right? I just thought that was crazy. So yeah, I just think that's crazy. I think sis light bulb is out. Your light bulb is out. Yeah. Not being a light, not showing love at all. Do y'all know we can connect and we can be friends and interact, and we don't have to even have the same belief. I used to work with a lady who was a Buddhist, the most loving, kindest person ever. So yeah, your light is out, and it is quite disgusting, to be honest. So let me tell you about the traits about the Aries. So I am very bold. Aries are bold, very direct, very impatient people, very creative people. Fire signs, so very fiery. If you have an Aries in your life, you're not going to be bored at all, because they are always on the go or got something going on, whether it's a project or just very creative, on the go people, natural born leaders. Did I say very impatient? Very impatient people. They say that we're selfish, but there's a fine line between being selfish and having self-love. And I have self-love so strongly. When I hear people say, I'm learning how to love myself, or when I was in junior high, I used to hate myself. That is so foreign to me. I don't even know what that's like. So we'll have to talk about self-love. And sometimes people think self-love is going to get a pedicure or taking a hot bubble bath with candles. That's self-care, and it's completely different than self-love. We'll have to talk about that. So those are my traits, and they do line up with what they say, what the folks in the Zodiac people say. Let me know your sign, and if you believe your traits line up with your Zodiac or whatever. I gotta go, y'all. We'll talk about this later.